Have you ever painted men?
Very occasionally. It's rare. There are a couple, but not very many.
Have you been asked to, like, if people said, I'll pay you an arm and a leg to do a portrait of my family?
Occasionally, someone wants to commission something,
This
but
looks like a precursor to your latest body of work, honestly. This is what I would call a diving board painting.
exactly, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. There was a painting in 2009 called Folding Woman, which was a folded image, and it came back like almost 10 years later. Like now all my work is sort of coming out of that.
The fashion element is just extraordinary. We were doing that fashion thing at the same time. It's so great to meet a sister in that. For example, in this one, did you take two fashion related images
Mhm.
and then combine them, or are they in and of themselves composites on
No,
each side?
I took two different images, and they happen to be in the same shoot though, and I merged them. And it was very, happy because there was a kind of continuity there, even though there's a rupture.
Mhm.
Um,
There's like a really cool 80s vibe to this one,
well, interesting you should say that. It's based on an Alan Jones.
There you go.
There's a few paintings I based on his stuff. That's a Caspar David Friedrich, that painting.
Oh yeah, I've made a painting based on this painting. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with this painting.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. I love the way you have this kind of subtle gradient, this pink and this coral, and then this floating figure. It's like, how Bacon does those simple backgrounds where you just have kind of a suggestion of a three-dimensional space. This is the Janet Werner version of that. This is invented creative. This only could be Janet Werner. Fantastic.
I think that's a very small painting, but I think I should do a big one.
I would like to see 10 like that.
Yeah.
Are you writing that down?
I am.
I'm so glad. I love it when it's confusing as to whether or not it's the same thing.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I love the echo of the figure on her chest.
Yeah, that was very fun to do because it came in at the end.
It's a second take though. You don't really notice it.
Yeah, it's a second.
So when you got out of Yale and you started with the figure again, did you say, okay, was it like, and now for something completely different, like I am no longer going to do this from life. I've just been through this wormhole of abstractions for 4 years. I'm going to try to do this from my head.
Well, the first faces came about, as I mentioned, I was using these biomorphic shapes. They always wanted to constellate to make a face, eyes, nose, mouth, just dots, like we'll make a face if you don't push them away or be careful. So I actually, again, I was away. I went on a residency, and I was just drawing at the time. And I allowed them to constellate to make a face, and it was staring at me. And I was like, I think I'm going to let this happen. And then I started.
Did you come home that night and say, you're not going to believe what happened in the studio today?
Well, sadly, I was in complete isolation all by myself and very lonely at the time. So yeah, so it kind of emerged out of abstraction, the face first.
Do you have any work in the fairs right now?
No, I do not, but I'm just finishing work for a show that's going to open in New York, possibly in May, which is very soon.
I'm getting a hotel and I'm going to tell everybody where it's going to be.
Wonderful. I would love that.
I'm so glad the way we looked at this was starting at the beginning and then just seeing.
You made me miss that old work, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe my older work was better.
No, 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 you're on a journey. You can't, can you really help what you paint? Because I can't. I
Oh,
can
yeah,
try, but then I'm just sort of its slave.
yeah, yeah.